Okay, so frustrating result in Israel, I think, for me anyway, Scott. Um, for those, if you've been hiding in a cave and you haven't seen, last night's result was Israel won, Scotland won its second match in I think Group C for the World Cup qualifying. Uh, Denmark scudded Moldova 8-0, and Austria came from behind to beat the Faroes 3-1. So it's a result that leaves Scotland with 2 draws from our opening 2 games and 4 points off top place.
I don't know why, but I'm a little bit less peed off at it than a lot of folk. I have noticed on social media and just chatting to different folk as well that a lot of people seem to have thought that we were actually just going to go to Israel and win. And why some people thought that, I don't know, considering we've lost both times we've been out there. So it was slightly more of a positive, the fact we didn't lose that game compared to the last 2 games. But I do agree, yet again, it's taken us 45, 50 minutes to wake up and get into a game. Because what we scored in 55 minutes, I think it was, Ryan Fraser scored. So it's taken us till, we looked decent after half time, but yeah, we can't be starting games slow like this if we're going into the Euros. You just can't afford to be waking up at half time. You could be 2-0 down by that point.
Yeah.
Against teams like Czech Republic, Croatia, or England. So we can't be giving teams that chance. I mean, at first I thought that Israel just scored a belter, and then the camera behind the goal, I was just like, Marshall actually got a decent hand to it.
Yeah.
But like from just the normal camera that you watch the game on anyway, it looked like just a genuinely great finish. But yeah, I mean, the one thing you could say is that the centre halves are, I think it's McTominay, none of them go and close him down, so he gets as long as he wants to hit it. But yeah, I suppose you could be really critical and say that Marshall could have done a bit better with it. But
it's a wee bit of both. Like the guys get far too much time to set himself up and hit the shot, and then I think you're right. Like I think Davy Marshall will be looking back and going, "I should have saved that." Like by his standards, because he is an excellent shot stopper. I think the thing for me was like, I'm not under any illusions, but when you look at our results against Israel over the last 2 years, you kind of look and go, "That's roughly our level." Like we've beaten them, they've beaten us. There's been a few draws in there. They're not a terrible side. Like they knock the ball about fairly well. I wasn't expecting us to go there and win because I thought Israel were a poor side and that we would roll them over. I was kind of hoping, expecting us to go there and win because we need to. And we've been talking about the whole build up for this campaign was that we got the monkey off our back and qualified for the Euros, and now we need to back it up. And the thing that really annoyed me was just that we were so, I don't know what the right word is for it, like hesitant or lazy in the first half. Like we were just giving Israel far too much respect. Like, I mean, it's Israel, it's not Spain. You don't need to stand off them and let them come on to you. You know, it wasn't so much that we didn't win the game. The thing that really annoyed me was that we just went at the races in the first half, and classic Scotland, we left ourselves a mountain to climb, and then we get the equaliser, and I see like the likes of Billy Dodds in that on BBC Radio Scotland saying it's a great result in the context of the game because we were behind in that, but we should never have been behind in the manner we were behind in. And then you can sit and say, oh, it was an excellent second half performance, like he said, because we got a point out of the game. But like that second half performance should have been the whole 90 minutes. And like you said, like the slow start thing is costing us. Like, so I think that it wasn't like the worst performance ever, and we recovered it a bit in the second half. But like, it's a classic Scotland. We're slow out the gates again, and we leave ourselves in a lot to do.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, we did seem to give them a little bit too much respect, and the fact that they were able to just pass it around at free will in the first half anyway, just to do what they wanted to it, and that kind of summed up their goal as well. I mean, talking about our equaliser, that was a pretty nice move, I would say, Fraser did well to bomb forward and go and support Che Adams, who had, I can't remember who it was that passed it to Che Adams, but who then I actually thought he had mucked up the pass to Fraser, but Fraser kind of halted his run just at the last minute to make it a good pass, and then kind of faked to hit it first time, and then slotted that away nicely in the bottom left corner. So it was a nice goal, and I was glad to see Che Adams was involved in it, because I did think on Thursday night that he looked promising and looked like he was energetic, wanting to get stuck in. And again, I thought he did an all right job up there. He was playing on his own, which he isn't used to doing. So it's probably something he's needing to adapt to. He's used to playing up front with Danny Ings in a partnership for Southampton. So he's going to have to adapt playing on his own. I'd like to see us go with Dykes and Adams against Faroe Islands. Just the fact that we need goals, just confidence, a confidence booster. I know it's not. This is going to sound stupid, but it's not going to be as easy as folk think it's going to be against Faroe Islands. Look at them last night. They went 1-0 up in Austria and still only lost 3-1. So they're not going to be this team that you're going to score 6-7 against. That I think we'll be happy if we come out 3-0, 4-0. Something like that. That'll be a good win.
I'd agree with that. I think that would be a good.
I would like to see us keep a clean sheet for a start.
Bloody hope we do. I think you're right with Adams up front. I thought that he played well, and I like with the goal. Like you watch it again, and he suckers all three of the Israel defenders in, because they know he's good enough to. He's playing at that high level where they know if they give him space and he shifts it onto his right or left foot, he can score a goal. Like I know he had one like that not long after the Fraser goal, where he shifted it onto his right foot and he hit it kind of straight at the keeper. Maybe he should have done a bit better with that. But I think Adams is good. I think he offers us something different up front to Dykes, and I thought that Clark made the right call starting him. What annoyed me was we took him off, we threw Dykes up front, then we didn't change how we played, and also we brought Stuart Armstrong on after we took Adams off. So
we've not actually played the two of them together yet.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he has to start. Personally, I think he has to start them both together against the Faroes, just to try and get Adams that goal, and because they know each other, they have that natural partnership. And Armstrong he's in good form.
Yeah,
we kind of went to Christie, who's not been playing that great for Celtic, and I didn't think he was that great when he came on. Yeah.
Well, I was actually about to say that I would like to see Christie starting on Wednesday, because I actually thought he was one of our more impressive players in both the second half on Thursday, and he made an impact when he came on last night. He came on at half time and he was influential in us getting more chances and getting the ball forward towards Adams and Fraser. And I thought he had a pretty good game against Austria after half-time, like a lot of the players did. And he was unlucky that he should have been given a penalty on Thursday night as well. But no, I wasn't having a go at
Christie's performances as such. I was kind of more thinking coming into the internationals, Armstrong was in better form, and I thought that I think he should be starting ahead of Christie, just based on form, and also the fact you got the Adams partnership,
I was an advocate of, if we're bringing Adams into the squad, you play him and Armstrong together because of the chemistry that they should have together. But what I was going to say, just to add on to that Christie one, was I agreed on the fact that he hasn't been playing well for Celtic, but for some reason he's turned up this week and actually looked a better player in these last two games than he has played for Celtic this season.
Yeah, and I suppose as well, for Christie, a game against the Faroes, he's probably the most skillful of the midfielders. So if the Faroes are going to sit back and defend and play compact, then Christie is maybe the more creative. He can unlock that a bit more than maybe McGregor or. I mean, I don't think we should sit with two sitting midfielders anyway.
No, I would have you either pick McTominay or McGregor to be your sitting midfielder on Wednesday, and then you have McGinn, Armstrong, and Christie, maybe as your three sort of further forward players. Unless you want to keep with Fraser for a bit of pace out wide. I didn't think he had a bad game last night, and he took his goal well, but I spoke to my dad about this, and we both kind of agreed on that he didn't really get involved with a lot of stuff last night, other than sort of that first 15 minutes of the second half when he was buzzing about and he got his goal. But even after that, he didn't do too much. And then Armstrong came on for him late on, but he didn't really do too much other than score that goal.
Fraser's one of those players, I think, that does that during the 90 minutes. If you watch him playing for Newcastle, he'll drift in and out of the game.
Yeah.
You know, even with Bournemouth when he was there, when he was in good form and scoring goals and assisting, he was popping up unexpectedly, like he did with the goal. I think I don't know about you, but I don't want to see us play. I don't think we need to anyway play 3 at the back against the Pharaohs. Like, I thought we were better when we made the sub at half time and we went 4 at the back. I think we play 2 up top, 4 at the back, and be far more positive. Like, I know it's the result that's yielded qualification for a tournament, but like, I thought that part of the reason we were so static was that 3 at the back formation. Like, sometimes, like, if you're going to play 3 at the back, your wing backs need to be further up, and you need to be playing a 3-5-2 against a team like Israel. But we were playing a 5-3-2 and are giving them far too much space. Like, I think that the formation allowed us to be too negative. Like, we sunk into it, as opposed to being more. Like, it's not like Robertson and O'Donnell were bombing down the sides like they should be.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing I do, like, I actually wouldn't play Robertson against the Pharaohs because I thought he was poor. I thought his crossing was poor. And if we're going 4 at the back, I'd actually play Tierney at left back on the overlap. And like, there was a couple of times that one time especially, that Robertson got in behind at the byline and he cut the bloody ball back to nobody. And one in particular against Israel, like, Dykes was screaming for it on the 6-yard line. He just needed blasting across. And sometimes with Robertson, like, it's strange because you see him do it for Liverpool and then he doesn't do it for Scotland. Like, it's not the first time his crossing's been poor, but like, the thing is, like, Tierney, he's going to do it every single time. Like, he's consistently good with his crossing.
Yeah.
So I would try 4 at the back with Tierney at left back, and I don't know if you drop Robbo. Like, it's the thing is, he's captain, so can you do it? I don't know. That's my rant anyway. Tierney over Robertson.
No, I would agree, because I was actually going to bring up the point. Would you go and try a 4 at the back again on Wednesday night, and then you rest one of Tierney or Robertson? I don't know if maybe Scotland have had an agreement with some clubs who go, no, sure, I want my player playing 3 90 minutes away on international. Do they maybe play 2 90 minutes and then maybe 45 minutes on the third game or something? I don't know, but
I know what Jurgen Klopp and our friend Aaron Doran will be wanting.
I think they'll be happy enough if Robbo was to sit on the bench. I
wouldn't be like dropping Robbo because he's shocking, but I feel like trying Tierney at the back 4 and having Tierney at left back and seeing if he can get those good critical deliveries in. I feel like it's the right thing to go with for the Pharaoh game.
Yeah, one thing I've been seeing on social media is that, and it is annoying or a bit weird to see, because we've talked about Robertson in such a high regard over the last 3-4 seasons, and he's now the captain, that it almost makes him immune from being dropped because he's captain. I'm starting to actually think that it could be true that Clark's going, look, he's my captain. I can't just drop my captain and give it to McGinn or McGregor, whoever, or even McTominay, whoever's playing. But I think if Robbo was to sit out this Faroe Islands game and he goes with a 4 at the back and plays Tierney at left back, and if Tierney was to whip in cross after cross and get like 2 assists, 3 assists, going into the Euros, you start going, why not play Tierney at left back? That's your problem if he does have a. I know it's only Faroe Islands, but if we've seen him having a good season. He's had a better club season this year than Robbo has, so he's already got that up on him. If he was to then go on Wednesday night to go and have another belter of a game, you then start to question, should we play him in his proper position instead of playing him slightly out of position by playing him in the left or back three?
Yeah. No, I think I'm sure it's something that Clark is wrestling with, but like you say, the fact that you've made him captain, even though he's captain, left back is probably our most competitive spot. So I think in an international setup, nobody's safe. Robertson is best for Liverpool when he has somebody playing in front of him as well. Like there's an argument for going 4-4-2 and playing Robertson at left back instead of seeing how he does. Because for whatever reason, this kind of 3-5-2 just doesn't quite seem to get the best out of Robertson. So
no, I think it is possibly the fact that a lot of folk laugh at how it's only, I don't know, a matter of left wing back to left backs, a matter of 5 meters max.
Yeah,
it's everyone goes, oh, it can't be that much different, but a left wing back, you're almost that's why it's got wing in it. You're almost trying to push up to beat a left winger.
Yeah,
because you're trying to do 2 roles basically in one. And you get that extra cover at centre half for that reason. But I do think it seems to have hampered them slightly for some reason, Robertson, because everyone does start to think that it might also have something to do with the fact that he's got Manny on the left wing playing with him instead of Ryan Fraser, somebody like that. It's also something to do with it. But
that's definitely a factor, because it's the classic thing with Darren Fletcher where people were like, oh, Darren Fletcher wasn't as good for Scotland as he was for Man United.
But he had Paul Scholes next to him.
Exactly. He was going from Paul Scholes to, I don't know, Lee McCulloch.
And even on a bad day, what did he have? Michael Carrick beside him.
Exactly.
So
would you, and do you think Clark will give either McBurney or Nisbet a run out against the Faroes? Because it's kind of like, it seems like the perfect game to try your informed striker in Nisbet, and also the boy desperate for a goal.
No, I would get that.
Maybe not start, but off the bench, half an hour.
If we were 2-0 up after an hour, I'd like to see Nisbet get half an hour, 25 minutes, and just see, can he nick a goal? Can he even just get a few chances and show that he can play at that level?
Yeah,
because what's the point in calling him up, right? A couple of months before a Euros, and then for him to maybe not even be in the next squad. What was the point of that? I get somebody might say, oh, it was for him to have a look at him at training, and maybe he wasn't cutting it at training, but I still think that you would be able to know from watching him at Hibs if he could train with the Scotland team.
I think the first 45 minutes minimum, Adams and Dykes up top next to each other, see how they feed off each other. And then, maybe we've got a couple of goals, maybe throw one of the other guys on for the second half alongside Adams. I'd keep him on for as long as possible to try and get him his first goal, or maybe 1 or 2. Dykes, you kind of know, you can experiment the 2 up top, and then Dykes you can take off because we know what he does. He's got a goal for a couple of goals already. Maybe then throw McBurney or, God forbid, or Nisbet on next to Adams. It's kind of thing you want to get the couple of goals so that you have the buffer to try things out, basically.
Yeah.
Is there anyone?
If you're 2-0 up at half time, you could even do it earlier at half time, but it just depends, as you say, if he wants to try 2 up top with Adams and Dykes, or if he just sticks with Adams again. The last thing I want to see is Dykes up top on his own against the Faroe Islands. I mean, if that happens, I might not watch the first half. Genuinely, we might still be 1 or 2 up, but I still wouldn't think it would be fun to watch 1 up top against the Faroes.
If you're going, the only time I would accept, even then I don't know if I'd accept it, Dykes as the one man up top is only in a 4-3-3 where you've got Fraser or Christie either side. That's the only time I'll accept Adams and Dykes not starting that game together. Like
he might well go to 4-3-3. You don't know, because he might try Fraser and Christie on the wings or something. But,
probably spoken it into existence. Is there anyone else in the squad that you'd maybe give a run out to? Would you change any of the defenders? Like, I mean, it's going to be a good. I'm trying to think what defenders you've got. It's probably the best chance to give somebody a run out.
Yeah, you could always say, right, Grant Hanley's played back-to-back 90 minutes. You could maybe throw in McKenna or Gallagher and say, right, here's 90 minutes.
Yeah.
They're vying for a couple of spots. So you would like to think that they'll be doing their very best to try and make the manager's decision even harder. So
yeah.
Whether you see more than one change, I don't know. It might actually be Jack Hendry. The fact that he was taken, I know he was on a booking, but the fact he was taken off at half time, you might see it's him that's hooked, and he still goes with Hanley, and he maybe goes with a McKenna because he's left-footed, so he'll play. Actually, Kim, if we go to a back four and Robertson's rested and Tierney moves it to left back, I can guarantee you McKenna's playing, because he'll need that left sided centre back.
That's fair. Yeah,
I think that's a guarantee.
And I think McKenna's played well for Nottingham Forest, so he probably has deserved a run out. So yeah, I'd be fine with that.
He was also given the captaincy, funny enough, at the last game before the international break, which I was a bit surprised to see how quickly he's been given the captaincy. But
he's obviously settling in very well. Then I'm not like advocating it, because I think O'Donnell's been pretty good actually in the last couple of games. He might go for Palmer at right back, maybe just to give him a run out. You know, we're talking about he might change it up. Like, he might go for Palmer. Also, if he's looking to get a goal or two early on, like Palmer, I think Palmer's a better attacking right back and deliverer of the ball. Well, I think he's just a better right back in general.
If you're wanting somebody to defend, I think you probably go with O'Donnell. But if you're wanting somebody to give you a bit more width and a bit better quality of cross, I think. I mean, O'Donnell's actually put in some decent balls in these two games. Whereas beforehand he wasn't doing that. So yeah, you could look at that. But
I wouldn't change it for any other reason than to give Palmer a run out.
What would be your 11 that you would go with for the Pharaohs?
Yeah. I think Marshall in goals.
See, I would actually think about giving Craig Gordon a game. Just the fact that give him another cap.
Fair enough, yeah.
Like, I don't know why. I just thought, why not?
That's fine with me. We'll throw Gordon in.
I don't think the goalie's going to be that involved anyway, but
no, maybe just to give him a cap and I'll say Marshall, but Gordon would start. I'd go, like we said, back four. I'd maybe go for Palmer to give him a run out, and Tierney at left back, because I think the two of them are better crossers. You're thinking Hanley maybe and McKenna.
Yeah, if Robertson's dropped, I think McKenna's in.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. That's fine with me.
I keep saying dropped. I mean rested. Like,
I know.
Yeah, so
McTominay in front of the back, Christie, Armstrong either like in front of him, then McGinnon behind Dykes and Adams up top, maybe. Do you know, like
a 4-3-1-2 sort of thing,
like a 4-4-2 diamond kind of thing, you know?
Right. Okay.
I don't know,
where McGinn and McTominay is your top and bottom of the diamond.
Yeah, I don't think we need McGregor in, because I mean, he'll probably play, but I don't think it's the kind of game where you need McGregor
to
usually McGregor's in there to kind of drop back, collect the ball, retain possession. So I don't think you need that. I think we're going to be further.
Yeah, we need to be scoring goals and getting a good win. So we need somebody that needs to progress the ball a lot quicker than McGregor does. McGregor's got games that he probably suits better. This just isn't his game. Denmark away probably suits a McGregor.
Yeah, exactly.
But this game you need your guys that are going to unlock defences and get that killer pass and I would go with that. I mean, I wouldn't be too far off your starting 11 if we're going with 4 at the back as well. As I say, I think McKenna plays if Robertson is to be rested, and Tierney's out left back, and then I think I've got a funny feeling he's going to play Kenny McLean. Just,
Yeah.
I've got that sneaky
Fair.
feeling. It's like he's not started both the games so far, and he likes Kenny McLean. I don't have anything against Kenny McLean, but I've got a funny feeling he might play him ahead of somebody like he might play him actually ahead of Armstrong. I don't know.
Yeah. It
So
does.
it might be McLean
It
and
is the kind of game that screams like crappy 2-0 win, Dykes and McLean late in the second half or something like that. Now that we've proposed a 4-4-2 with Tunney at left back, I'm looking forward to 3-5-2 with Dykes or whatever.
3-5-1-1 with Dykes up top on his own.
Okay, cool. I think we'll leave it there. If any of the viewers have any comments on how you thought the Israel game went, and who would you like to see start against the Faroe Islands, drop a comment down below. Otherwise, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and share it with your friends. We're trying to grow the channel. And other than that, we'll see you for the next rant after we crawl past the Faroes.
Let's hope not.